guys, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are back with dinner and a movie recipes. Tonight's movies are my Big Fat Greek Wedding 1 and 2 if we can get through them. Some of that depends on cooking, which I'm trying to get some of the prep work done now. Today's menu is actually going to be Greek Gyros. We're gonna make homemade pita bread. We're going to start out with 3 cups or 375 grams of all-purpose flour. This particular day, I decided to go ahead and weigh my flour. To that, we are going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar and 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. Now here's where I was a little confused, because usually salt will kill yeast, and this says to add the salt and then add your yeast. So I went ahead and I mixed my salt into my flour before adding my yeast. If you use a packet, it is 2 1/4 teaspoons if you need to measure. Next, you want to add warm water. Warm water usually means 100 to about 110 degrees. This did not specify, so I went with right around 100. If you stick your pinky in and you feel it, but it does not like scalding burn you, you're about right. I did pull out my thermometer and I was at 100 degrees Fahrenheit. We're also going to add 2 tablespoons of good quality olive oil. I almost forgot that step. Don't be afraid to stop the mixture and go ahead and push the flour down to make sure all ingredients get incorporated. This dough will come together quickly, so just let it do its thing, but keep an eye on it. My love-hate relationship with the dough hook, it did its thing and I just kept an eye on it. I had to push my flour down quite often, but it worked. Dough started to come together and then all of a sudden it didn't, so I went ahead and I added just a couple tablespoons at a time of flour in until it was fully incorporated and where it needed to be. That helped the consistency a lot. Now we're going to turn our dough out onto a clean work surface and lightly flour it. We want to knead the dough until it is no longer sticky when pinched between 2 fingers. You're going to do this for about 5 to 6 minutes. I added extra flour and then pushed it off to the side. That way, as I needed to work with it, I could just pull it over. Once your dough is to the consistency it needs to be, go ahead and just put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in a bowl. I just used the bowl I mixed it in. Make sure you cover your bowl with the olive oil too so that the dough doesn't dry out, and then cover it with plastic wrap. I went ahead and put a kitchen towel over mine to also keep in just a little more heat, since it was cooler outside but my kitchen was still about 70 degrees. As you can see, I lost the battle with the box that my cling wrap is in. Oh well. You want the dough to set for about an hour to an hour and a half, or until it doubles in size. Warmer kitchens get you better results. Now it's time to lightly flour your surface, and check out this dough. Is it not beautiful? It did everything it was supposed to do. So we're going to remove the cling wrap. We're going to punch it down. We want to bring it out and lightly knead it into a ball, and then we're going to press it into a disc. I actually wound up making the ball in my hand. Now the part I'm really bad at, cutting it into 8 even pieces. Then you are going to take a wedge, pull the corners all in until you make a ball, set it down on your counter without flour. That will help it grip. Put a C on your hand and just roll it until it makes a perfect ball in your hand. Then you are going to place it out of the way under a towel. Move on to the remaining 7 pieces and do the exact same thing. Once you have finished with all 8 pieces, go ahead and let them rest for 10 minutes under your kitchen towel. Now you want to lightly flour your surface, plus get a piece of parchment paper out, and we're going to work with 1 dough ball at a time. Pull them out and go ahead and roll them into 6.5-inch discs. And then once you have rolled them out, place them on your parchment paper, under a clean kitchen towel and proceed with the rest of them. Once you are done, go ahead and let them rest for 20 minutes. At this time, you can go ahead and put your cast iron on the stove and bring it up to heat. You want it to be fully heated, but just not scalding hot, about medium. And then we're going to use some oil. I used avocado oil, and lightly coat your pan. Mine was a little heavy. Then you're going to put your pita bread down on the hot surface. You'll cook for about 30 to 45 seconds on one side. You will start to see bubbles. As the bubbles form, some will be bigger than others, obviously, no big deal. You're going to, once it's got some color to it and it's cooked for about 45 seconds, you're going to flip it and cook the other side. Those bubbles will brown where the rest of it may not touch the surface, but as long as you get browning on the bubbles, you're probably good. To get an actual pita where you can stick it in a pocket, you need those bubbles. Be patient and only cook them one at a time. That way they don't get ahead of you. Then once you have them cooked, you're going to lay them over on a surface out of the way. You can stack them up at this time. I laid mine all out flat because I covered them with a towel because I wasn't ready for them, and I let them cool completely before I ever added the towel. Okay, don't judge, I haven't cleaned my counters yet. Now comes the real test. What does it taste like? That's good. Be a little better with some garlic butter on it. Last night we started marinating the beef for our gyros. Since my husband got a couple of new toys to play with for his birthday, he decided to go with ribeyes. We did a light marinating the night before using extra virgin olive oil, and then we coated the steaks in Greek seasoning with a little bit of kosher salt, and then we put them in vacuum sealed bags. We're going to be cooking these steaks the sous vide style method, and basically that just means under vacuum pressure and in water. When you use a vacuum sealer, you don't want to get any of the salt, the seasonings, anything on the outside. That's why we went ahead and folded the rim down so that we wouldn't get anything in when we vacuum sealed it. Then once you have vacuum sealed it, just check to make sure there is no hairline, anything that could cause you problem and make the vacuum seal pressure go away. So later today, my husband will be ready to continue on with the cooking. His birthday was this week and he got some new toys to play with. So we're using a higher cut of steak than probably what you normally would because he wants to play with toys. He got a sous vide machine, and then he got a vacuum sealer, which you have to have for a sous vide machine.
Okay, we're getting ready to start our sous vide process. This is the first time I've used the machine here, so I'm bundled. I'm gonna go over and fill up my water pan here real quick. Be right back. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna pull up our Inkbird app. So we want to set our target temperature at 129 degrees. Go. We'll come back when that comes up to temperature. What we're going to do is we're going to put our steaks in this handy little rack. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get these guys in here. Let's see how this goes. Careful to make sure that we don't go over our max water fill height on our sous vide machine. Went in like a champ. Now we'll cover it up. Since I got this handy dandy little cute cover here. And we'll let her roll.
Okay, let's make some tzatziki sauce. The first thing you want is a half of an English cucumber. They are seedless, and for some reason they come wrapped in plastic. I don't actually know why. If somebody does, please tell me, because I'm curious. So you want to take half of your cucumber and you want to dice it up. I would go little dices. My dices were a little on the big side, so next time I will make them smaller. Learn from my mistakes. To help your sauce not be quite as runny, go ahead and put your cucumbers, which are full of water, over a fine mesh sieve over a bowl, and add a little bit of salt. This will help pull that extra moisture out that you don't want. Then we want a cup and a half of full fat Greek yogurt, because hello, you want the flavor and taste, right? To that, you want to add 3 small cloves, or I would only go 1 large clove of finely minced garlic. I put 2 and mine was really spicy. Then add some salt, but keep in mind, you can always add more salt, you can never take it away. Then the lime of 1 lemon and half of the lemon juiced into your mixture. We're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of fresh dill, fresh mint, and fresh parsley. I made extra parsley when I was mincing mine up so that I would have some to top my gyro. Don't forget to add the cucumber when you mix this up. So now our steaks are fully cooked to a nice medium rare. We do want to go ahead and pull them out of the water bath. We dried them off just so we didn't get water all over my kitchen floor headed outside. But when you pull them out of the bags, they don't look the most appetizing. So that's when you turn your grill on to a scalding 700 degrees. I mean hot. We're going to put them on there, and we're only going to put them on for about 30 seconds per side. Now it will come out to a minute because we're going to get char marks one side, flip over, get them on the other, and then do the crosshatch. But you want to constantly flip them in only about 30 seconds per side. Maybe we just have steak. That's really good.
The steak is?
Yes.
How do you know?
I'm just guessing. Because we were doing gyros, we cut across the grain in very thin strips so that they would fit on the pita nicely. And let's just say this steak was so amazing, it was hard to stay out of. Truly. I wanted to eat it just as steak.
So this is the big thing that people talk a lot about on sous vide for steaks, is the edge to edge doneness. So it's medium rare from the edge all the way to the edge. Mm-hmm. Instead of just having a medium rare in the center and it getting more and more done as it goes out, you know?
Right.
My goodness, that is delicious.
Why did we decide not to have steaks?
We're having steak.
Just in pita.
I must have had my camera zoomed in or something, because what you don't see is I'm just very, very, very thinly slicing a red onion. Then you want to put it into a fine mesh sieve and wash it off, and that takes away some of the bite. Now let's make our gyro. Add some tzatziki to a pita, add a nice layer of your beef, and then top it with that onion and some parsley. Tomato would have been great too, but I forgot to buy some. And there you have it. Hey, Greek Gyro. That is amazing. Bye.